Hello, my name is Mazin Black. I'm part of the 2015 Hires group at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch this summer was the career panel in front of basically very enlightened, very respected professors and different people who can give us ideas and help us decide what to go into and do with our lives. Because that was basically helped me decide and helped me think about some different things about biomedical engineering and research in general. My favorite social activity was definitely rock climbing, seeing as that was the time when we had almost a human pyramid reversed. And so that was probably the most sociable and the most interesting social activity to go to. Most complicated phrase that I've heard this summer is a protein that attaches to a carbohydrate group, which is gal alpha 1,3 gal, and then it ends with an amazingly long protein strand that I don't remember because it's so complicated. And so that's what we've been knocking out in the IELTS.
Hi, my name is Neha Goyal, and this year I'm working in Dr. John Lewis's lab as part of the 2015 Hires program. My favorite brown bag lunch session so far has been the one where a few previous Hires students came in and talked to us about different scholarship opportunities. I really like this because I was able to know and find out about different scholarships that exist and how I can apply to them. My favorite social activities was when we went to a lecture theater and watched a movie in there. I thought it was just really fun to be able to get to know all the other higher students, and then we also brought in some food, and so it was just a really fun and relaxing evening. The most complicated phrase or novel idea I've heard is a cytotoxicity assay.
Hi, my name is Jolyn, and I'm part of the 2015 Higher Summer Program at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch was the university student life. That's where we found out there were many activities you could do outside and how to become involved with the school. And it's not only about studying. My favorite social activity has been the rock climbing. That's where most of the Hires kids, they showed up and participated. The most complicated phrase I've heard this summer is immunohistochemistry, and that's what I'm doing right now.
My name's Chris Ackerman, and I'm part of the 2015 Hires group at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch was the scholarships talk, because who doesn't like learning about how you can get free money? My favorite social activity was the Hires Olympics. We played some volleyball and soccer, so it was a lot of fun. My favorite tour so far was the tour where we went to the Center of Rehabilitation Medicine. It was a lot of fun to try all the hands-on activities and learn about all the technology that's being developed to help the children and grown-ups who have deficiencies.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm part of the 2015 Hires program at the University of Alberta. My favorite social activity was probably when we went down to the festival at Churchill Square and we got to dip our feet in the fountains and watch live performances. My favorite brown bag lunch so far has been the career panel because we got to speak to well-accomplished doctors and researchers. The most interesting tour has been the SMRI tour because we got to play around with surgical tools, which I thought was really cool.
Hi, my name is Daria Abdul-Maliki, and I'm from Fort McMurray, and I'm part of the Hires 2015 group. My favorite brown bag lunch was the university panel we had, and they talked about different years of university and especially the medical student we had. I really liked the SMRI tour and all the surgical tools and the hands-on activities they offered us. My favorite social activity was the Hires Olympics and the potluck we had and the movie we all watched together.
Hello, my name is David He. I go to Old Scona Academic, and I'm a part of the Hires 2015 group at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch was the career panel, where I was able to meet with many of the successful people within the healthcare industry, and it was a great opportunity to actually get to talk to them and even network with them and discuss with them some interesting topics. I think the most interesting tour was the SMRI tour, where we actually got to see a lot of the stuff that goes on, say for example, behind the scenes with surgical equipment, and we actually learned a lot from that. It was lots of live demonstrations, a great experience. I think overall, my favorite social activities are when we actually just in general go on lunches and stuff together. It's a great time to basically talk and meet with other people, talk to other people about just anything, how things are going in the lab, and just, yeah, good networking. Awesome. The most complicated phrase I've heard this summer was probably zymography.
Hi, I'm Claire Key, and I'm part of the 2015 Hires Group at the University of Alberta. My favorite social activity so far was the Hires Olympics and the potluck we had. We actually interacted a lot, and although there was bad weather, we made it a good time, and we did it indoors, and it was a lot of fun, and we all bonded. The most interesting tour so far, I have to say that it has been the SMRI tour, the Surgical Medical Research Institute tour. We got to explore so many different kinds of medical surgical instruments, and it was very neat how people use them. It was great. My favorite brown bag lunch that has been very interesting was, I have to say, the career panel, because well, I didn't know my future would be here this fast, and I think the Hires program really prepares you for that next step.
Hi, my name is Andrea Tack, and I'm a part of the 2015 Hires Group at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch has been the career panel because I got a sense of all the different professional job opportunities. My favorite social activity has been the Hires potluck and the Hires mini Olympics because I got to hang out with all the other individuals. The most interesting tour has been the SMRI tour. I got to see a bunch of the surgical tools, and I got to see how they work.
Hello, my name is Aditya Sharma, and I'm part of the Hires 2015 program at the University of Alberta. My favorite social activity has been the Hires Olympics. It was lots of fun. We played soccer and other sports together. Yeah. The most interesting tour for me was the SMRI, which was Surgical Medical Research Institute. Yeah, we got to look at lots of cool stuff that cutting-edge technology the surgeons use today. My favorite brown bag lunch was where past Hires alumni came to talk about university life and their international lives as well. I think that really helped me gain experience as to what type of other opportunities there are outside of Canada.
Hi, I'm Kylie Kwok, and I'm part of the Hires 2015 at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch has been the university panel as well as the international schools, because I think it has given me a sense of what's out there for me and the opportunities that I can get. My favorite social activity would have been the potluck because it gave us a chance to interact under a less stressful and a more kind of calm environment. The most interesting tour, I think, would have to be the SMRI tour because we got to see the instruments that were used during surgery, which I don't think is an experience or an opportunity that anyone would get.
Hi, I'm Colleen Moore, and I'm part of Hires 2015 at the University of Alberta. My favorite social activity would probably have to be the potluck. People brought a lot of great food, and I really enjoyed playing volleyball with everybody. My favorite brown bag lunch so far was the first one we had on international universities. It's very interesting. It's not a presentation you get as often because they're far away, but it was interesting to hear the students' perspectives on learning outside of Canada. So I'd have to say my favorite tour was the first one we had where we learned about the rehabilitation technologies and different games and robots to use for disabled kids. It was very interesting and interactive.
Hi, I'm Lucas Mina, and I'm part of the 2015 Hires Group at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch was the career panel because of the interesting speakers. My favorite social activity was the computer science lunch because we were able to hang out with interesting people. My favorite tour was the Glen Rose robotics tour. It was very interactive and very fun.
Hi, I'm Sarah Willette, and I'm part of the Hires 2015 summer program at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch so far was the scholarship brown bag lunch, and we learned about a whole bunch of different bursaries that students can apply for, and I really didn't know how many were out there, and it's great to know that there are a lot of opportunities for young people to get funded for university. My favorite social activity so far was the movie night, and it was really cool because we went into one of the theaters at the university and we watched a movie on the big screens in the lecture theater, and it was kind of like having Cineplex at school with all the seats, and that was really neat. I really enjoyed the Surgical Medical Research Institute we did last week because I'm thinking potentially maybe going into surgery, and that was really cool to see first kind of experience with surgery at the university.
Hello, I'm Tamara Radovich, and I'm part of the Hires 2015 program at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch has to be when we did the when students came over from abroad at their, for example, medical school. One woman came from Ireland and she was talking about these different programs we can go from high school straight into universities, not just in Canada, but from the US and, for example, in Europe. So I thought that was just amazing because thinking about going real big places is quite crazy at our age. My favorite social activity so far has probably been the potluck, and it's just because the 22 of us get to come together and just talk about our research, and we get to talk about what we're doing this summer, and it's just great to have all these students and kids our age interact with the same interests. So I really like that, and I learned a lot about them and new people, and it's just a great environment because we have the same interests and, in a way, the same career goals, so it's great. The most interesting tour so far, it's been probably the SMRI tour, and it's because we got to go into these buildings and see how they do surgical procedures. So we got to learn how to stitch, and it was just very interesting to see them do that in live, and also allowing us, at 17 to do these procedures. So it's quite amazing to see what's happening in research these days.
Hi, I'm Rachel Gowd, and I'm part of the 2015 Hires program at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch has been the one on international schools because it's hard to get that information at your own school, and it's really nice to hear it from the person's perspective. The most interesting tour that I experienced is definitely the SMRI because I want to pursue medical, and it's nice being able to use the equipment that they use nowadays in the surgical practice. My favorite social activity was playing soccer at the potluck because it's nice playing against people who aren't that experienced, and I beat you, Addie.
Hi, I'm Tamanna Hawk, and I'm a part of the Hires program 2015 at the University of Alberta. My favorite brown bag lunch was actually the career panel we had last week, and it was just one of the most eye-opening experiences that I've ever had. My favorite social activity that we did at the beginning of the program was actually the Shakespeare Festival in Horlack Park. It was wonderful because I actually love Shakespeare, and getting to watch live Shakespeare was a bucket list for me. The most interesting tour so far was actually the Glen Rose one for me. I thought it was really, really interesting how engineering and medicine played a role together, and it was nice to see how one career can lead to another.